But have you ever asked God for forgiveness? I'm not sure I have.
Hello there. I just wanted to make a quick video, I guess, about Donald Trump. And before we start, I'm not looking to pick any fights or whatever. I'm not here to hack on anyone who voted for him or whatnot, or this, that, or the other thing. In fact, I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. I'm also a Canadian, so it's not like I even voted for the guy. I'm just going to present some facts and people can think what they want. You know, don't believe a word I say. Research everything I say till you're blue in the face and then come up with your own conclusions. But this concept of whether or not Trump is a born-again Christian or whether or not God put him in presidency or whether or not God can use anyone. Of course God can use anyone. But I've noticed some people have a dangerous obsession with Donald Trump. And to those type of people, I urge you to Google something called 1980s Trump photo shoot the dove and see what you get. And ask yourself if maybe this guy has been groomed all this time. Because the one thing you have to remember is he might honestly consider himself a good guy. A lot of these high-level Luciferians, they believe Jesus and Lucifer are the same person, the same being. And so they are legitimately fighting against the Satanists, the right-hand and left-hand path of Freemasonry. And while some people refuse to admit or don't want to go there when this topic gets brought up about Trump, the truth of the matter is we have to go there. So has Trump ever actually professed to being a Christian? According to the little clip you just saw, no. And I will play the rest of that afterwards. But for now, I just want to talk about a bunch of different stuff. Like, for one, if this was all set up, but on a slightly different topic, I can't help but wonder if maybe this was predestined in a way. And as such, the hardcore Satanist types were truly betrayed in thinking that they were going to win. Like Hillary Clinton honestly thought she was going to win. And that whole false binary, well, what would you have rather had, Hillary? Well, it's like I'd rather have neither of them. I'd rather have people who aren't affiliated with these mystery schools, whether presented image of the good guy or the full-on Satanist Aleister Crowley type. I'd rather have neither. But the big thing I noticed is, remember before he got elected, everybody was pretty much screaming in the media, there's no way Trump will be president.
Could he actually win?
No freaking way!
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Donald Trump.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
Trump will not be president.
Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
You're not going to be president,
A
all
man
right?
who will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank.
He will never be president.
Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
Well, obviously those people were all pretty much incorrect when they declared that Trump would never be president. But herein lies the catch-22. If it was all ordained, and this is just part of the first and second beast of Revelation prophecy, then I would plead with people to look at Trump with a more critical eye. For example, whenever people think that God put Trump in office, I honestly have to ask, which God are people talking about? Because the God of Freemasonry they think is Jesus is actually Lucifer. Like the Catholic version of Freemasonry is what Trump would be a part of. He professes to be a lapsed Catholic, as I'll play the rest of that clip at the beginning, at the end. But even like his press secretary revering him here.
I think God calls all of us to fill different roles at different times, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president, and that's why he's there.
But then there's this whole Saint Germain Luciferian prophecy that Trump is the reincarnation of Saint Germain. The idea that he's here to bring about the second beast, or they might honestly think the actual savior. Remember, Freemasons and Luciferian types, they think, or at least they have thought up until now, that Jesus is not in fact coming back. So their Antichrist version of Jesus is what they think will happen. Now, then there's also the idea of Q, and whether or not Q is the image of the beast or the precursor to the image of the beast. People marveling after this image that was given life, and most think it will be an AI supercomputer or some other form of artificial intelligence, robotic life, cyber-conscious life. But the idea that Trump is part of this Saint Germain Nesara prophecy is equally troubling.
Donald Trump will be president by destiny. He is a soul extension of Saint Germain, who is an expert in creating wealth and has a momentum of light that permits him to win any battle or confrontation with the dark ones. Saint Germain is the hierarch of the Aquarian Age and is involved with the project of peace, prosperity, and recreation of civilization, which will propulse mankind, and this planet, in a golden age era.
And therein lies another thing that I wanted to point out. I got these clips from a YouTuber named probably Alexandria. I'll add her YouTube page in the description section below. You should check it out. I don't agree with all her ideas, but I do agree with some of the things she says. Some of the things she points out, like this quick video here showing that when Trump was inaugurated or whatever at the GOP, like all other politicians, they're constantly referring to the light, serving the light. As he comes pouring out in between two pillars, there pours out all this light and Donald Trump. And the theme song, which is known to be a theme song for LGBT, plays in the background.
Look at this Q drop. In the blue box, Q says that they never thought she would lose, referring to Hillary Clinton. The cabal had a 16-year plan to destroy America. Obama, who Q calls Hussein, was given 8 years to install rogue operators, leak classified intel about military assets, cut funding to the military, take command away from generals, launch a, quote, good guy takedown, using Valerie Jarrett as the sniffer, or the one who determined who would be removed. Special access programs would be sold to other countries. Snowden would release intel that would destroy the military worldwide, but not the, quote, bad actors. Those are the clowns, or CIA, and no such agency is the NSA. Obama was also tasked with targeting and weakening the conservative base by using the IRS and the mainstream media. He opened the border to flood the country with illegals who vote for Democrats. He let in ISIS fighters and MS-13 gangs. He funded and installed fear and targeted or removed domestic assets, which is U.S. military. Obama allowed North Korea to build nukes. He turned a blind eye to Iran, as well as funding and supplying them with money and weapons. He allowed classified information to leak and staged the assassination of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He funded the Iranians, North Koreans with uranium-1 and reduced the U.S. nuclear capacity. He defunded NASA to prevent space domination and allowed the cabal to take down military satellites worldwide, as well as securing communications and installing weapons of mass destruction worldwide. That would risk an EMP attack and leave the country helpless. In the green box, Q says that Hillary was supposed to start World War III, where death and weapons were real, but the war was fake and controlled. This was part of their depopulation agenda. She was to eliminate all rogue operators within the government and military. These would be the ones loyal to the alliance. She was supposed to kill the economy, open the borders, revise the Constitution, ban the sale of firearms, install her own set of Supreme Court judges, remove the Electoral College, manipulate votes using Soros' machine, limit or remove military funding, close all military installations worldwide, starting with Germany, and destroy opposing mainstream media and news outlets.
If I had not been elected President of the United States, we would right now, in my opinion, be in a major war with North Korea.
The cabal's depopulation agenda was literally set in stone. That's how sure they were that they were going to succeed.
This is the time to search for the tallest summit and set our sights on the brightest star. This is the time to rekindle the bonds of love and loyalty and memory that link us together as citizens, as neighbors, as patriots. And we must always keep faith in America's destiny. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world. And the light. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people.
And as I said, they're obsessed with the light, Luciferian light. They think Yahweh is the bad guy, the God of the Bible is the bad guy, a jailer keeping Adam and Eve prisoner in the Garden of Eden, till Lucifer, their version of Jesus, freed us through Satan. And now we're here and we got to get our immortality on while we can in this fallen world, because they don't really believe in an afterlife. Much less a lot of pastors who are actually Freemasons. And so I'll just play a little clip here of this guy. I can't remember his name, but basically, there's a lot of pastors like this who think Trump is here to do God's work and kick the devil's ass and all that. And remember, these Luciferian light workers, they honestly think they're the good guys fighting the good fight. But sadly, like this pastor here goes on and on about how Trump's here to save us and save America and make America great again. It's like, I don't think so. That's like saying, is Trump here to make Babylon great again? Because the Bible's clear that when Yeshua, Jesus Christ, comes back, he's the one who's going to remake the earth. This world we're in, it can't be made great again per se, because it was never great in the first place. So there's the misdirection, number one. And number two, the idea that anyone thinks Trump is going to be this new prophet or this new savior. And it's like, no, Jesus did all that on the cross. It is finished, as he said. And so now you got guys like this. And I'll just play this little clip here.
Our Father in heaven chose Donald Trump for this time as an opportunity for his righteous sons and daughters to take back dominion of the earth. He was born for this task, and most importantly, he accepted his calling. Trump is not bound to any religious indoctrinations, and therefore is totally receptive to what has to be done. Trump decided to stand up and step in to stop the destruction of America, which in turn will save the earth.
Trump is a high-level, right-hand Luciferian. He does indeed have a purpose, and it's not to save the world. It's to deceive the people and make them worship the beast behind the second beast system, also known as Lucifer, and his promise to make America great again as well as the rest of the world. Yikes.
Our Father in heaven denies any and all prophetic events as described in any book. We have free will, and from this time forward, the righteous must regain total control and dominion of the earth.
Q and Trump are supposedly saving us from the dark New World Order. But because most people don't realize that there is a light New World Order, they see him as a literal savior, a hero, a false prophet. Q always says this is not another 4-year election.
And I know people will say, well, that's all in the past, you know. He's trying now to be a good Christian and all that. And I say to people, are you really just presuming that, or do you know for sure? I always look at people skeptically. I don't just assume anything that they're automatically on my side or have my best interest at heart. In fact, I would say to think that is folly. But Trump is clearly an egotist. I mean, whether or not you want to believe that he is a reformed Christian or not, I don't see any evidence for that.
I'm really rich. I'm much richer than almost anybody. I am so smart. I am the smartest person. I'm one of the smartest people everywhere in the world. It's true. I went to an Ivy League school. I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words.
People would say I'm like the super genius of all time. The super genius of all time.
I'm a man of great common sense. I'm a very stable genius. I wear great deals. I look great. The doctor said, man, you have the blood pressure of a great athlete who's 20 years old. I can be more presidential than any president that's ever held this office. Society loves me. Nobody builds walls better than me. Nobody knows the system better than me. Nobody knows politicians better than me. Nobody knows it better than me. Nobody has better toys than I do. Nobody loves the Bible more than I do. Nobody's stronger in Second Amendment than me. Who is better than me? I think I am actually humble. I think I'm much more humble than you would understand.
And now we'll get to the final bit and come full circle back to the beginning. The clip I played. Has Trump ever professed to being a born-again Christian? And the answer apparently is no. So I'll just play this final brash of clips and leave you to it to check out the description section, citations below, and make up your own mind. So with that, I'll just say peace out, baby.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness? I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. Now, when I take, when we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness. And I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed, okay?